Tomo, good afternoon. Thank you for being with us.
Well, good afternoon to you as well.
Tomo, my name's Alejandro, and I work for a radio station here that's called 103.9, and the Echelon follows the station from day to dawn, and they're very happy to have you in Colombia in April.
And we're very happy to be there as well.
Tell me about what the experience has been like for you to work so closely to the Echelon. I know you guys have been very close to your fan base over the years, but in this particular case, in that this is war period, it's been so notorious, so evident, and so beautiful what you guys have accomplished with your fan base. I would like to hear from you as a person and, of course, as a musician, what this experience has meant.
Well, you know, for the entire time that 30 Seconds to Mars has been a band, Jared and Shannon, when they started, they've always been very interested in that relationship between, you know, the audience and the band. And for This Is, you know, that kind of just carried over throughout the entire career. And for This Is War, you know, we really just, for whatever reason, we were inspired to include them in a much bigger way in the making of the album. You know, Jared had the original idea of the summit, which was, you know, obviously the people singing on the album and participating with different sound effects and just, you know, using a large group of people as an instrument on the album. And then with the Faces of Mars for the album covers and you know, and onward from there, it's really important to us, and, you know, it's something that we've always been very interested in, and it's something that we'll continue to do in the future as well.
How did you guys come about joining the forces of production? You had wonderful producers for this album, and joining the forces of fandom and actually making it work. Do you think this was like a particular work of magic and inspiration, or was there really tough strategy behind it? I mean, you had a producer like Steve Lillywhite, right?
Yeah, we had Steve Lillywhite and Flood.
Okay, so you had Steve Lillywhite. Was it hard to talk Lillywhite into doing all the choruses, and what was it like to work out like the logistics of bringing people over, bringing many fans inside the studio and getting Lillywhite to actually record those things? What was that all about?
Well, you know, Flood and Steve Lillywhite, I guess the explanation needs to be made about how that relationship went. I mean, you know, we worked with Flood for about 8 months in the beginning of the recording of the album, and then we worked with Steve Lillywhite at the very end for a few songs for him to just kind of help us finish a few songs that we kind of just needed some outside opinions on, you know, and you know, he came highly recommended by Flood. Obviously, they've worked together, you know, many times in the past, and you know, as far as the recording of the kids, that's something that we did on our own without the help of those guys. We had already done all the work with Flood and Steve, and you know, we had talked about the idea of the summit with them. So the work that we did with them, we did with the project in mind, that there was going to be these holes in the songs where these kids would be placed in, you know, and we kind of just put out an invitation on the internet saying, look, here's the day and the location that we're going to do this experiment, and anyone that wants to participate should show up here at noon. And then we're going to work all day, and, you know, magically, you know, something like 1,200 people showed up from all over the world, and we kind of had set up microphones all over the room, and we kind of just took it from there and had ideas on a sheet of paper, and we just went through the whole list and recorded everything, and some stuff got used, and the stuff that's on the album, and there was a lot of stuff that didn't get used, that just didn't work. It was really just a big experiment, and we had no real... We placed some thought in it, but we didn't really have very much of the logistics worked out. We just kind of winged it, and luckily it worked out really well. So
yeah, it came out beautifully, didn't it? It just came out beautifully.
Thanks.
Tomo, why choose Flood and Lillywhite for this particular project? Was there a consensus inside the band to do it?
Well, Flood particularly is someone that we've always wanted to work with. You know, most of the three of us together, most of our favorite albums are albums that he produced or was involved in, you know, in a big way. And Steve Lillywhite, the same thing. It's, you know, these guys, they made the albums that we love, and, so when the opportunity came to work with a producer, he was at the top of our list, and it was kind of like just very natural. He came to a show of ours, and we spoke, and for about 5 minutes, and we were like, yeah, let's do this. And 2 months later, he was in LA, and we were working.
How many dates of the tour have passed so far?
Oh man, we've been on tour now for 16 months already.
What's the toughest part of being away from home for 16 months in a row?
I mean, you come home for a few days here and there, and it's difficult, but I mean, you kind of just learn to live like that. I mean, that's what I do for a living. That's my job. I travel and I play music, and I'm not home very much, and you just kind of adapt and learn to live your life the way that it is.
Okay, well, Tomo, it was just a couple of minutes to say hello and to wish you well and to hope that you guys make it safely to Colombia. We're looking forward to the show here in April. And take good care, Tomo. We look forward to the show. God bless you, man. Say hello to the boys in the band.
I will. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Tomo from 30 Seconds to Mars, and catch my interview with Alejandro Marin
Bienvenido al futuro. Esto es X360 con Alejandro.